Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well. Just probably 48 hours after we heard the Mets only have $10 million left to spend, we hear the news that the Mets are very, very interested in signing Jorge Solair. And honestly, that makes all the sense in the world. We are going to go over some reasons why. And really, we are going to go over why this may actually have some type of Cespedes effect. Because if you compare these two players and the trajectory that they may have with the Mets, I am telling you, it is eerily similar. Okay, but first I want to mention how the media literally has no damn credibility. No damn credibility. There were virtually, in my opinion, not many insiders. Not many insiders at all. Are the baseball people who are titled as insiders, but do they truly have inside information? No, I don't think so. And I think it does make it tough for them, but we're going to get into that momentarily. First, if you're a Mets fan, if you're excited about the season, this is the channel for you. So please like, please subscribe. Also helps us out tremendously, and you don't miss any future videos. All right, so to get back into the media, these days, and I don't blame David Stearns. I don't blame Steve Cohen. You can't talk to the media at all. You really can't because, and I get it. I get it. Negativity does sell a lot of people, and it does get clicks. So a lot of people they tend to have a slant. A lot of insiders will slant these stories about organizations, players as being negative. And the Mets, they've been notoriously known as a franchise that has not been successful. So to keep in line with how we've been viewed, most stories are slanted negatively about the Mets. Okay, can you complain about it if you're Steve Cohen and David Stearns? You can, but it's not going to help the situation. I don't think reporters are going to report favorably just because you ask them to. I think they're just going to do whatever is best for their career path, which, I guess at the end of the day, it puts food on the table, but, that's their thing. All right, here's the deal. Steve Cohen, David Stearns, their number one business is to do what's best for the team. Jorge Solair, adding a pitcher, adding a relief pitcher, I think it's still in the cards. I've been advocating for Jorge Solair for the last couple months. I've been saying right from the jump that this is the perfect guy to protect Pete Alonso. The perfect guy. The perfect guy. And the thing is, he's not going to cost as much as a Cody Bellinger, and I think he would do a better job in the fifth hole than a guy like Cody Bellinger. And if you look at his statistics, which we are going to go over, I mean, he has put up mammoth statistics, especially with the rumor is in terms of him being paid around $15 million a year. I mean, maybe if David Stearns, everybody was upset a couple days ago that David Stearns didn't go after Imanaga. But if sometimes you got to make choices, right? If you think you need another starting rotation guy, and you feel like you're going to acquire that in the next couple of months, and you have an extra $15 million to spend, would you rather get Imanaga or would you rather get a guy like Solair? I would rather get a guy like Solair because we can do some type of trade to acquire that additional piece, which I feel Stearns is looking into. But Solair, I'm telling you, he could have this Cespedes effect. Now, all the folks who could think back to 2015, and I know it's 8 years ago, most of us remember, but there are some younger folks on the channel that may not remember. Cespedes had a huge, monumental effect on that 2015 team. He really did. I believe we were just treading water, and you had the Wilmer Flores, him almost being traded for Carlos Gomez, and it turned out to be one of the biggest no trades ever. And I believe at that time, I don't know if it was that particular trade, but I know one of those trades you had Dilson Herrera go to the Brewers, and they were considering Brandon Nimmo. I remember Brandon Nimmo was in one of those trades, but then the trade was rejected. It was pulled back, and then they eventually traded away Dilson Herrera. But that was in another trade. But here's the deal. Cespedes came in that year and he freaking dominated. Dominated. In 2015, when he was with the New York Mets, he hit 17 home runs, 44 RBIs. He batted 287, 337 on base, 604 slug, 942 OPS. I mean, those slugging and OPS numbers, just so you know, those numbers are higher than Pete Alonso. So he crushed the ball. He crushed the ball. And not only did he crush the ball, he provided a dynamic presence in the lineup where it actually put fear into the pitchers. It made pitchers think. Now, Jorge Solair, and we're going to get into his numbers. His numbers, I could argue, are better than Yoenis Cespedes. And he's a more well-rounded player, I believe, at the plate. He has more plate discipline. He walks more. He has a higher on-base percentage, and he has the same type of slugging power. So a guy like that, putting him in the fifth hole behind Pete Alonso, you already have Lindor in the lineup. You have Nimmo. I mean, this extends the lineup. You don't have to put that pressure on Alvarez, which people are saying, hey, maybe Alvarez is going to be the fifth guy, or maybe Vientos. Well, those guys can continue to develop. Alvarez, yes, he hit a lot of home runs, but he batted 206 or 207. Vientos, he struggled as well. Beatty struggled as well. So you don't want to heap all that pressure on the young kids. Not right now, not right now. So if you have an option in Jorge Solair, I mean, you really got to capitalize on it. You really do. And I just want to show you folks what I mean about how his numbers are out of this world. I mean, I've went over this. His expected WOBA is in the 93rd percentile. His expected slug is in the 94th percentile. Expected exit velocity, 81st percentile. Expected barrel percentage, 91st percentile. Hard hit percentage, 84th percentile. So all those six categories are all way above league average, and that was the same thing with Yoenis Cespedes. So Yoenis Cespedes, quite frankly, dominated in those categories that I just mentioned, but here's other categories that Yoenis wasn't above league average. Sweet spot, he wasn't above league average. Jorge Solair is, he's 72%. Chase rate, Yoenis Cespedes wasn't above league average. Jorge Solair was. Now you go to walk percentage. Jorge Solair is in the 83rd percentile. Yoenis Cespedes didn't walk a lot. He didn't have a high on base percentage. So I can argue that Jorge Solair is a more well-rounded hitter, and he's a slugger. He's a prodigious slugger. Is he a Pete Alonso? No, but not many people are Pete Alonso. But for a guy like that, to put him in a lineup to protect Pete, it will be awesome. Everybody's saying, the Kyle Schwarber effect in Philly. The Mets want a Kyle Schwarber effect guy. Go get this guy. Jorge Solair has prodigious power. Like I said, I compare him to a Yoenis Cespedes, having a Yoenis Cespedes effect, because it's something that the Mets fans can relate to. It's something that was in almost, you could say, recent history. And you see that 2015 team was elevated to the World Series. And I know we don't have the pitching. I know we don't have Jacob deGrom. I know we don't have Harvey. I know we don't have that good of pitching. But the thing is, our offense is better than that offense, right? So if we could put ourselves on the backs of a Kodai Senga, if possibly Stearns could get another ace, we are building something. And then you got Minaya and Severino, who have been working with Driveline and have been getting better. So, you know what? This is what I say, folks. It's not easy to make the World Series. It's not easy to be a consistent winner. It's not easy to even get to the playoffs. But here's the thing. We're really getting on Stearns for not making the obvious pickup or the obvious big move or obvious big signing. But if you always make the obvious big move or obvious big signing like we did in the past couple of years, that path is usually not the path that is going to win. Usually you have to do things different. Usually you have to be a bit more creative. Like if I would have told you, hey, the Rangers passed 2 or 3 years ago, they're going to win a World Series in 2023. I don't think anybody would have sign off on that. They might have said, yeah, they're going to be good, but you have the Astros, you have the Yankees, you have the Dodgers, you have the Braves, and you even had the Mets that appeared to be ahead of them. Now we have to reset and do things differently. We're not going to make the obvious monumental signing. Maybe, yes, we tried with Yamamoto, but Yamamoto was a bit different. He was a 25-year-old phenom coming out of Japan, and that was unique. So we took advantage, like Steve Cohen said, we're going to be opportunistic. If something is out there that's not normally out there, and it's something that can help our team now and 5, 6, 7, 8 years in the future, you know what? That's something that you have to jump on, like you saw in the Yamamoto situation. But there's other opportunities out there in this current free agent market that just aren't worth it. They're not worth it. You have a bunch of relief pitcher options. Okay, so we haven't really delved into that market. But I think it is just so blatantly obvious that we need that bat. We need that bat. We really need that bat. And I don't. If David Stearns is worth anything that Steve Cohen has basically said he is, David Stearns wholeheartedly must recognize that we need to support Pete Alonso in the lineup. And to heap that pressure on the rookies just is not fair to their development. It's just not. It's just not. It's common sense. I mean, why would you want to put that much pressure on the young kids right from day one? Hey, protect Pete Alonso. I mean, the pitchers, Pete's not going to get any good pitches. Why would you? Why would you pitch to Pete when you got a rookie behind him or a guy like Alvarez who bats 200? It makes no sense. So if you have a slugger behind him like a Jorge Solair, at least now you can make the pitcher pay. You get some more good pitchers for Pete. It'll help Pete. It'll make your whole lineup stronger. Then it makes you fourth, fifth, sixth batter. It's just a no-brainer. So that's what I feel. Drop a comment. How do you feel? Do you think it could have a Yoenis Cespedes effect? Do you think Soler is better than Yoenis Cespedes? And if you got any comments on the media relationship as well, I think, in my opinion, that it's wise for Stearns and Steve Cohen to not really say much, especially stuff that's not known. If you have any secret stuff, you don't tell the insiders anymore because the insiders are going to run with it and they're going to do whatever is in their self-interest. All right. Well, again, those are my opinions. Let's go Mets. We got pitchers and catchers coming up soon, so I'm excited about that. Like, subscribe. We're Met fans, baseball fans. We're all the same. So have a great day, and stick around because we are going to be doing live streams more often now. And I want to thank all our members of the channel for everything that you're doing. Comments, likes, sticking around, watching me, hanging around with us. I mean, I can't thank you enough. It just means a lot to me. All right. I will speak to you very soon. Have a great day and enjoy.